So this is Victor Kim, one of the co-founders of the restaurant No Thai, a restaurant actually local to the Ann Arbor area. So Victor, as one of the co-founders of the restaurant No Thai, what advice would you be able to give about starting a business in the restaurant or food industry?
Well, when a lot of people approach me about opening a restaurant, they have a lot of ideas of how glamorous it is to run a restaurant, or romanticizing the whole idea. But in the end, it's a lot of work. There's a lot of things that we don't see going on behind the scenes, like prep work. That's something that people never really think about. Everything that we make here has to be chopped up and has to be cooked, and it's a lot of work. And so some people don't think about being in the kitchen all day chopping chicken or chopping vegetables, and it's a lot of hard work. And so I think people need to be prepared to do that, or to hire people to do that, or to basically be on call all the time at any given time of day, because something can go whatever. I think another important thing that people should think about is to find people that are good at the things that you're not good at, to have partners to share the load, or reliable employees to do that. And I think that is very helpful, because I don't think anybody is a master of everything. Everybody has different skill sets to bring to the table. So finding people who are complementary to you is very important. And I think the last thing is trust is really big too. Having people you can trust around you makes your life a lot better in an industry like the restaurant industry, where you're dealing with cash and customers and food safety and everything else. You need people that you can trust around you. And I'm very blessed and lucky that I have 3 partners that I started this business out with, and all of us are still friends today. We trust each other, and we pretty much kept the whole business about friendship and trust the entire 7.5 years we've been in business.
So, what motivation did you and your partners have to start a Thai restaurant?
I guess the motivation just kind of came from the inspiration of, like I said, 4 of us were just friends. 7.5 years ago, or actually almost 8 years ago, we were just hanging out, golfing, playing video games, hanging out, having a meal, and the whole idea of the restaurant just came up pretty randomly, because one of my partners, the No Thai, he had just finished up at MSU and was looking to go work at a restaurant, earn enough money to open his own. And he had grew up in the Thai food restaurant business with his parents, cooking at his parents' place up in Brighton. And so the idea came up for him, or for all of us, to start out a restaurant in Ann Arbor. And I was an undergrad here, and I knew that there was not a single Thai restaurant on campus, and it just seemed like a no-brainer that a Thai restaurant would succeed in the Ann Arbor downtown campus area.
So when starting your business, did you have an idea or a good plan of what you were going to do, or was a lot of it just thought up as you went along?
I think a lot of it was thought up as we went along. There's a lot that you don't know. I started a business. None of us had done it before. None of us had started a restaurant from scratch. So I think we tried to organize and tried to formulate as much as we could do to create like a plan of who we are, what we're going to do, create a brand, create a logo. We jumped through all those hoops, but in the end, I wrote up a business plan. It probably was no more than 6-7 pages at the beginning. But I think it really captured the gist of what we were trying to accomplish. And so, do you need a 50-page business plan or a 100-page business plan to necessarily succeed? No. I mean, you could succeed with one that's a lot less. But yeah, a lot of it is figuring things out as you go. Nobody can know everything before you start, you head down any path. So you always have to be able and willing to adjust as, new things come up, as challenges come your way.
So your business has been around since I think it was 2005. Do you think you've been relatively successful so far?
Yeah, I think. I I think we have achieved a certain success. I mean, we're not a national chain. We're not every small town USA or every city across the U.S. But considering that we've only been around 7.5 years, the fact that we've expanded to 4 restaurants, and it's just started with 4 young friends who none of which had any real formal restaurant experience. I think that is a kind of success and achievement that I think all of us are to some degree proud of.
So, how difficult was picking a location for your restaurant? Was cost a large factor when it came to picking a location, or is it just the people, or just the location in general?
Well, cost is a factor, and I think the high rents in Ann Arbor scare a lot of people off. But for me, I had gone to undergrad here. I had walked the streets of Ann Arbor and kind of knew where the hot spots were and where the dead spots were. And so we had been looking for something that was really close to campus, preferably on like the main conduits like South University or State Street. And it's about location, especially restaurants. It could be 1 block off from a really busy area, and it completely failed. You're just 1 block away. So when it came down to it, we were looking around, and we found a location on Williams, which was not too far from campus. And we fell in love with the place. We thought it was great, and then we didn't get it. And it was crushing, but we kept looking, we kept persisting. We found the location we first started out on South University, and it was expensive. I mean, per square foot, but we knew it was worth it because we knew that students would come, and it was a busy part of town. We didn't know how busy it was going to be, and you figure those things out. But we figured paying the high rents if the location is really nice, it's worth it.
So, how did you obtain locations for your restaurants? Specifically this one on the corner of South Forest and South University.
So, usually when you find a place that you're looking for, if you start initiating a search to look for a location, I highly recommend that you use like a commercial real estate agent, and they will basically find suitable spaces for you. Tell them what you're looking for, any specific criteria like location or other things, and then they'll look. And then once you find something that you like and you see it and you want to make an offer to be a tenant there, you basically prepare a letter of intent and submit it to the landlord, saying what you're willing to pay in rent and what you expect back from the landlord in exchange for that rent. The landlord then usually negotiates, and there's some back and forth negotiation until there can be an agreement or until they select a different tenant or something else. And so once tenant is selected, then a lease is drawn up, and they go through reviews and legal, and then if everything is accepted by both parties, then a lease basically commences when it's specified, and then you take the space and start paying rent.
How did you decide to decorate the restaurant? Again, specifically this restaurant. What types of decoration did you use to sort of set a good atmosphere for your customers?
So my partner Brian, he's pretty much responsible for branding and a lot of the selection of furniture and other things that we have here. In this newest location here, in the Landmark building, we had an architect who designed this layout, designed a lot of these materials, selected some of the colors, woods, and other things like that. And so when we look at furniture, when we look at atmosphere, when we look at things, what we wanted to do when we first opened up Notai is that we didn't want to be a generic mom and pop Asian restaurant. We wanted to be something different. We were young, and so we wanted to appeal to a young crowd and be a Thai restaurant that we would want to eat at. So I think that was something that had a lot more energy, had a lot more youth and vibrance, and something that was modern and contemporary rather than the very traditional look. And so all the materials we use, all the colors and everything else, it goes in line with that. I mean, you see a lot of stainless steels, concrete countertops, concrete floors, a lot of wood accents, bamboo, other things like that, to give it kind of a very modern, clean feel. But it's also about durability too, because it can't just be about aesthetics in the fast casual industry. All your stuff has to be built to last, especially when you're in a town like Ann Arbor with a lot of rowdy college students.
So, how much knowledge do you personally have about Thai food, and do you think having a lot of knowledge about the business that you're going to start is really important?
I think it helps a lot, and I don't know if it's, I don't believe it's completely necessary, and in my case, I didn't have any real knowledge about Thai food other than being, being one of my favorite cuisines to eat and consume. But my partner, the Noah No Thai, he grew up in the Thai food business, he knew how to cook the dishes and all of that, and so we were lucky that we had his experience. But I've been part of restaurants where it just started from a concept and we didn't have the knowledge initially of how to make everything, and we would just have to figure it out. And so, it's possible, and that restaurant has succeeded, and so it is possible to not know. But you need to have somebody who's talented, who can figure things out, and can create a menu and take a concept to reality. But any food knowledge, any knowledge about the product before you launch, it helps. It helps a lot.
So, you mentioned earlier that one of your partners, No, his name is actually part of the brand name, your restaurant's name, No Thai. So why did you decide to choose the name No Thai?
I think we were trying to go through the whole branding and the identity phase of our business and trying to come up with a name, and it's harder than you think. And we were throwing a lot of different names around and different ideas. And a lot of the names ended up being like very generic, or just seemed like trying too hard, or it really wasn't us. And there's a lot of Thai restaurants that have very forgettable names like Bangkok Express or Thai Basil or something like that. And so we wanted to have a name that was different, that was meaningful, and that was fun. And so No Thai, I think, was appropriate because my partner is the head chef of our restaurant, and so we are a Thai restaurant, so No Thai is kind of appropriate in the sense that it's meaningful. But it's also kind of a play on words too, because No Thai is kind of confusing when a lot of people look at the name and think that we're not a Thai restaurant, that we don't serve Thai food, or that we don't. I guess people get other misconceptions as well. But the fact of the matter is that when people think about it, and they think about why it's named No Thai and ask that question, once that question is answered, it really sticks with people. They never forget. I think they already have an understanding or a connection with our restaurant, because they had to make that connection in their head of why is that name. Oh, that's why it is. A lot of other businesses and stuff, you don't think about it, it's just a name that you forget the next day, and it has no meaning whatsoever. So we just thought it had a lot of different meanings and on a lot of different levels, and so we thought it was very appropriate for our business.
All right. That's all the questions I have, so thanks, Victor, and I guess good luck with starting the new restaurant.
Okay, thanks a lot, Max.